Hello and welcome to Warblog. Today I'm going to play the Beira Oil Depot Attack, 1979, Mozambique, Africa. Let's jump straight into it. I think I can afford to talk on this, because it's not going to be very long. Essentially, I bought a book. I bought a couple of books actually. Well, I've gone insane. I think I got two books. The third one didn't arrive, so that was 3 books, but I reordered it with 2 more, so I've got 3 more in the post, and then I ordered another 5, 6, 7, 8, so that's 11 more books. They're all from like eBay, where they're pretty cheap, but it still adds up to quite a lot, which I'm not happy with. But anyway, forget all that. I got this book, and it's called Angola and Mozambique Post-Colonial Wars in Southern Africa. And when I first bought it, I thought this is rubbish because it's got no pictures and no maps. But I decided to read it, and it's just full of interesting information. And to be quite honest, it's not. There's no instance in the book where it says this battle happened here or this battle happened there. You know, it's not that sort of book you can open up and you can sort of say, oh, here's the battle of such and such, and here's the belligerent lists, and this is the order of battle, and this is what happened, and etc. So I have to sort of infer a lot. But I just picked it up and I thought, I'll give it a read. I've been trying to read it, and to be quite honest, it's a difficult read because it's just so sort of convoluted and complex. But this little bit is sort of talking about RENAMO and the Rhodesians. Maybe I'll just read it out. It says, while scholars argue heatedly about the sources of RENAMO support within Mozambique, there is a virtual consensus on its origins. RENAMO was the creation of Rhodesia's Central Intelligence Organization, CIO. Indeed, in his 1987 memoirs, CIO chief Ken Flower, who I think I've seen on YouTube talking, took the lion's share for the credit for creation of the Mozambique resistance movement. The strategy, he said, was based on a simple rationale: to punish Mozambique for its support of Zimbabwean liberation forces. This, it was hoped, would cut Mozambican support and illustrate the painful costs of conducting economic warfare against the minority-ruled country. Not only would RENAMO wreak havoc on Mozambique, but its activities would provide cover for direct Rhodesian aggression, such as the 1979 attack on oil storage facilities at Beira. And that is where I got to. I mean, I've read a bit more since then. I thought, oh, that looks interesting. Direct attack on oil thingy facilities in Beira. And so I went to Google, and there's a little thing on it on Google under a site that's linked in there called Mozambique History. It says the blowing up of the Beira oil storage tanks at Munhava. Oh, that's interesting. Or maybe I'll put the name in. It was a major propaganda coup for the MNR, who I think is RENAMO. Even though it was the SAS, which in this instance is the sort of the Rhodesian Special Forces. I haven't got their book, but it seems to have quite a nice book on it. I think it's actually the Elite, the story of the Rhodesian Special Air Service. That was in there. I was going to get that, but I've got this one, so I don't want to get too many on the same thing. But so basically, even though it was the SAS that, to all intents and purposes, had planned and carried it out, a detailed narrative, including a sketch map, is given on page 262 to 70 of Barbara Cole's book, The Elite, the Story of the Rhodesian Special Air Service. It is clear from her account that the military role played by the NNR guides in the attack was minimal. Indeed, one of the Rhodesian commanders was decorated with the Silver Cross for his part in the assault, an explicit recognition that it was a Rhodesian operation. The very fact that Cole devotes 10 pages in the book on the SAS to what was allegedly a major MNR success also gives the game away. Despite this, the Rhodesian and South African propaganda machines were able to make large claims as a result of this attack. Anyway, so what was that, 4 minutes? So basically, it seems as though it's a fairly major sort of covert operation. Now, the thing is, a game like this is not really suited to modelling that, but it is at the same time. I mean, you know, what you get here is the map, and there's Beira there, and obviously this oil depot is probably Munhava. Now, I don't know where it is. I put it there. It could be here or there. Maybe I should correct that now I know what it's called. So anyway, I'm in play mode. And so the first turn, I've actually played this through. And as long as I can get there in the first turn, because I have moved him. So this is the basically the RENAMO forces. And they get to the oil depot. And then magically, it's the Mozambique turn, but they've got nothing. Now, they don't just do that. On the 23rd of March, they attack the oil depots at Beira. There's a... Basically, the government, the Radio Mozambique and other radio stations reported by summary of world broadcasts the event. It said, in another act of aggression by imperialism against the People's Republic of Mozambique, the enemy attacked oil depots at Munhava, just outside the city of Beira, Sofala province, early this morning. In the action, the enemy succeeded in setting fire to the oil depots. Work is still underway to contain the fierce blaze. The oil contained in the depots was destined for Malawi and was in transit through our country. The damage caused by this action is estimated at about 100,000 kontos, which further down the list is described as about $1 million. In another act of aggression, coordinated with the first, the enemy cut the electricity supply of the line to the city of Beira. Thanks to the speedy response of the competent organs, the supply of electricity to the city was re-established at about 9 o'clock, or 0900. These acts of enemy aggression are part of their vain attempt to destroy our national independence and our revolutionary gains. The enemy is trying to intimidate us into reducing our support to the struggle for the liberation of the Zimbabwean people. The People's Forces for the Liberation of Mozambique, the armed wing of the people led by the RENAMO party, reaffirm their firm resolve to put an end to all enemy actions in whatever form they take and punish the aggressors severely. That's 23rd of March 1979. So, but obviously that's what they did. They've sort of made a radio broadcast. So now it's the RENAMO turn. So obviously they're in there blowing up the oil works, and then the Mozambique army appear. That's interesting, because they've got no movement now. And then the RENAMO forces disappear, having destroyed the oil depot. And that's it. That's game over. I love these short games, but it's educational. And you know, I just read that little paragraph and I wanted to visualize it. And you know, I'm buying all these books, and I was sort of thinking, I was going through the Wikipedia of sort of battles, and there's just so many interesting things. And I think one of the reasons they don't get done is because there's not much to them. I mean, you couldn't make that into a boxed game. You probably couldn't even put the whole Mozambique, you know, thing into a game of any sort, because it's difficult to model. People try, but you know. But the thing is, I think the secret, well, not necessarily the secret, but the way I do it and the way I think sort of works to some extent, is that you don't have to model it. You just have to use your imagination. I mean, we just modelled it there. You know, the only thing I would say is technically, what I'm going to do, I just noticed this. I'm going to play it again. Play now. So obviously we know how it goes. This is how I did it the first time around. I've got a workaround on this actually. This basically, I think he's too close. I might have to put him there. So we do that, and we do that, and we do that. He's destroyed it, but he's... Now if he goes this way... no, he can't do it. He can't get there, he can't get there. Not that I'm laughing at the Mozambique Armed Forces, I'm just sort of, you know, I just thought perhaps he could have got there as a counter. And I'm laughing at the counter. And then you go, there's the RENAMO forces running away. So Also, maybe a small note, I've got this new texture for scrub, but I don't really like it. It's actually, just a screen grab from a Google map or some actual scrub. I prefer it to be a little more cartoony, so I will be changing it, but I think it's better than what I had before. So anyway, that's the whatever this game is, the Beira oil depot attack from Mozambique, 1979. I hope you found that interesting. I would say I'm going to be doing a lot more. Obviously I am, but there's no particular emphasis on Mozambique. But I've got the book, and if they're as easy as this, maybe there'll be more. In the long run, there'll be lots and lots, hopefully, as time goes by, of immersive battles like this that you can pit your wits against, challenging your best friends to win or lose at the great Beira oil depot attack of 23rd of March 1979, and perhaps you will figure out whether it was the Rhodesian SAS or indeed RENAMO who actually carried it out. Okay, so that's an 11-minute video. We played it twice, so that's pretty good. And I'll speak to you later. Cheers, bye.